Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. How are you all doing? So, I came across a video of an Asian woman asking for black joy, and she wants to know what is black joy, how she can have black joy. She talked about how they work so hard and they do not have joy, and how these people also only are rich and they do not have black joy. Let me tell you something. Black people work so hard too. Black people are also rich, but they have black joy. That joy is something they are born with. It is something nobody can transfer from one person to another. It is how were created. It is what their ancestors had that they also transfer to them. So nobody can transfer it to another person. You can only contact it like it's contagious, because black people are always happy when you are around them. You can also be happy. But you see that joy, I cannot give it to you, and nobody can tell you how, because black joy is something that I cannot also explain. And there is no explanation to it. And then let me tell black people something, why some of these people do not think that you are oppressed. They feel like when you are oppressed, you are supposed to carry the weight of oppression on your face, but you pull up on them like nothing has ever happened to you, but you still tell them about their oppression to you. And then this is what they tell you: get over it. You know what? Let's get into this video.
I need some black joy. The fact that black joy even exists as a concept in the world is miraculous to me. Asians are no good at joy. We are good at working hard and being diligent and doing our best, but not joy. Colonizers too. Rich lives, no joy. We should never have hooked our stars to theirs. But black people, especially black Americans, are the best at joy. You've turned it into an art form. I know it came from terrible hardship that you've turned into soul and then into joy. And we, Chinese people, we just turn that hardship into more hard work. But I know you can't give it to us. We have to go out and earn it for ourselves just like you did. Joy is a puzzle for every human being, and it's not free. When I ask my black friends where their joy comes from, they inevitably shake their heads and just repeat, "You can't let them take it away from you." That's what it's not. But what is black joy? Can you tell me?
What's up again? Like I said, I be scrolling TikTok, right? So I found something else interesting. All right, it was a Chinese lady or Asian descent saying that she needs some black joy. Jeez, when will they stop with the labels? Black joy. Sounds like a drink. Now, as I'm looking at her video, it looked like she's reading it off a teleprompter, which they may do just to get everything out. So kudos to her for trying to explain something. But to me, this is one of those tricks that they do to go ahead and go viral. I need black joy. Oh, black Americans. Black? I don't look black. My shirt is black. But hey, as a quote unquote black American, you want to know where our joy comes from? Our joy comes from within, period. It comes from within. Now, I don't know how to say this. You cannot purchase this. You cannot subscribe to this. You can only try to understand this. Us, Americans, know in our heads and in our hearts that not everyone is a total ass and racist. But I know they have lied to us from grade school. I have known that they created certain laws from grade school. I know what people am I. I know that I'm in the Bible. I know that I'm God's people. No matter what they say. So our joy comes from within, knowing who we are, not who you guys say we are. So if you could find some way to bottle that up and purchase it and drink it, then go right ahead. But our joy comes from within. Period. We know who we are as a people. No matter what the lies are, no matter who you want to bring over, no matter who you want to put in front of us, no matter what you say with your DNA testing, we know who we are. Period. We're the children of God. That's it. That's all. We know as Black Americans that there ain't no other country gonna come and help us because this is our country. We were just overran and overtaken. We know we are the Indians, the indigenous of this land. We know this. Our joy comes from within. Our joy comes from knowing who our God is. Period. Knowing how far we came. Period. Have some struggles like that as a race. Have everybody looking at you and don't understand how you're surviving, and you will have that same joy. You say, you guys work, you try to make some connotations about work. We work hard too over here, but they say we don't. They say we don't love our children, but we do. Our joy comes from within. It's not hard to get or to explain. Our joy comes from within, from knowing who we are. We are God's people, period. And we're not black because my shirt is black. We're indigenous, copper-colored people that Columbus said that we might make good slaves.
An Asian woman came on here and asked, what is black joy? And y'all decided to answer that question. Y'all decided to answer that question. Y'all can't keep nothing to yourself. So I'm going to answer the question now. I want you to sell your parents and grandparents and put them into slavery. I want you to take your sisters and brothers, cousins, and have people hang them from a tree. I want you to have your kids be sold into slavery. I want this to happen for 400 years. 400 years. I want you to fight for your freedom, or try to fight for your freedom. I want you to fight for it and only get equal rights, as they will call it. I want you to understand everything that you do will excel, but the people above you will not allow you to excel. So they steal from you, they take from you, and they plan it as their own. I want you to keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting until you feel you have no more fight anymore. And that's when your black joy will come. Have a good day.
Good rising America, this is your prince. So I just watched this video about, this lady said, black people, where do you find your black joy? Do you know where black joy come from? It's inside yourself. Joy is in everyone. It's not only in black people. People don't have joy because they work so damn hard. Let me tell you people something. If you want some black joy, start by just living in the present instead of all the way ahead. Because for me, I'm gonna be honest, I got natural joy because it's not because of my hardship. It was given to me by the Most High God. That's how I got it. But if you want to know how to get black joy, look within inside yourself and keep loving on yourself. That's where you find the real true joy. So this is your prince, and I'm out.
Is that black Americans are always the main character. We are always the main character. And I say that in a positive way to this video. Because even the Asian people know that black Americans are, I hate to say it, but we are the only people who really have black joy. And that's the truth. Black joy was created through black Americans. Like, we're the only group of black people who actually have black joy. And when I mean black joy, I mean proudly black, proudly happy to be just a human, proudly happy to wake up. Like, this was installed into us. Black joy was installed into us from the moment we was birthed. Whether, like, you know, some people realize it or not, but just think about your parents, black Americans. Like, I know for a fact, my family, my parents, you know, just grateful for everything, you feel me? And that is installed into black Americans across the country, to be thankful of waking up, to be thankful for having a million. Because, you know, we all know the history of America. At one point in time, you feel me, black Americans had to really, really get out the mud, and we got it out the mud, and we kept on getting out the mud, and now we're here in 2025, you feel me? We don't have to be like, thank God. I mean, yes, we don't always be grateful and thank God for the food, but like, it wasn't to the extent at, you know, how it was, like, you feel me? We was getting scraps, and we turned scraps into black joy. You get what I'm saying? Like, we turned everything into black joy. everything we turned into black joy. Even during the craziest times, we turned shit into black joy. So that has always been installed into us. That ain't something you can just get because your skin is melanated. It's not something you can get because you hang around black people. It's not something. It is literally a part of our tradition. It's a part of our heritage. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of our DNA. It's our ancestral connection.
I need some black joy. The fact that black joy even exists as a concept in the world is miraculous to me. Asians are no good at joy. We are good at working hard and being diligent and doing our best, but not joy. Colonizers too. Rich lives, no joy. We should never have hooked our stars to theirs. But black people, especially black Americans, are the best at joy. You've turned it into an art form. I know it came from terrible hardship that you've turned into soul and then into joy. And we, Chinese people, we just turn that hardship into more hard work. But I know you can't give it to us. We have to go out and earn it for ourselves just like you did. Joy is a puzzle for every human being, and it's not free. When I ask my black friends where their joy comes from, they inevitably shake their heads and just repeat, "You can't let them take it away from you." That's what it's not. But what is black joy? Can you tell me?
Black joy is knowing that we're going to be okay. Black joy is knowing that we have a connection to the divine that no other race of people have. We know that at the end of it all, we're going to be the one standing victoriously. We don't have a reason to fret. We don't have a reason to fear. We have no reason to be unhappy. We know that we've been through the worst of the worst, and we decided that we want to stand because we have a divine calling on our lives that far exceeds anything on this plane. Black joy can't be defined in words. Black joy it's an action. It's alive. It lives, it breathes. It has a pulse. You can't get that. We can't give it to you, as you said. You can't achieve it because y'all have internalized rage. And what that is that you don't know why you can't be like us. And as long as y'all have that shortcoming, you'll never know what joy is. Sorry. Not sorry.
When we say to center black joy, let me speak for myself. When I say to center black joy, I say it for numerous reasons. Most importantly is to remind people that we are joy, that our joy should not be dismissed or disregarded or ignored for any reason. That's my main reason. Another reason, and this is not to dismiss, disregard, or deny the trauma that black people have gone through and continue to go through, but when people focus on that trauma, especially white people, when they focus on that trauma and they don't have an action plan for how to heal that trauma, they find themselves stuck in, oh my God, I feel so bad for black people. It must be so hard for you. You've been through so much. I can't imagine how bad that would be. Those are I statements. I can't believe how hard it is. I can't believe how much you've been through. I can't believe how much you go through. You can't, and you won't, and you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to as part of your work. You shouldn't have to as part of your decolonizing work. Taking on the trauma that we went through isn't the goal. It's to remove the trauma. So that's a big reason. It becomes very focused on your feelings and how you feel in response to our trauma. Another reason to center black joy, especially if you're doing anti-racism and decolonizing work, is that some people will find themselves, if they don't have a trauma project to try and save, they are less interested. If they don't have something they think they can fix, they are less interested. If they don't have something that they feel that they can feel sorry for and then feel proud about for helping, then they lose interest. Anti-racism work and decolonizing work isn't about the discovery of black joy. Black joy exists at all times. Black joy even exists in the midst of oppression. So if you're somebody that is working to be an anti-racist, an active anti-racist, if you're somebody that believes that you're an advocate, then you should want that joy to be celebrated that much more and not underneath the thumb of oppression. And that should be your focus. Black people don't need fixing. It's the systems that continuously and systemically oppress us that need fixing.
So last time I coined the term soft racism in Asians, and I want to call out my use of the word soft because it really hurt people in the comments. And I should have defined it because Black Americans have been the most wounded by racism, and so I really get that any distinction between soft and hard is practically meaningless. I want to clarify that racism isn't soft, as in light or benign, or diminishing the violent and traumatic impacts of racism across all Black and brown people, including Asians, but especially for Black people. I was meaning soft racism as more psychological and calculated, but not intent on killing or physical harm. And hard meaning with intent to kill or harm, that's justified and backed by the Western eugenics theory of power that drives white supremacy to this very day. And both are still about weaponizing power, and both are still violent, and both are there to wound us as designed as non-whites by either killing us fast or killing us slow, by killing our spirits in a slow death, which is what I think Asians suffer from. And to that point, my immigrant dad was wrong. He's dead, so I can't tell him that. But if he were alive, I would have a different kind of race talk with him. The same ones that I have with my teenagers that span both hard and soft racism and call out white supremacy daily, especially around social and sexual racism and power dynamics that are systemic, since that's my coaching work. I would tell my dad what I tell my kids about how our Asian American identity is inherently linked to Blackness and brownness, not this model minority whiteness, which is the Asian matrix that he and boomers of his generation never unplugged from. And lastly, I want to thank everyone for your sincere engagement on this really complex subject of race and power. They are the same thing. And I really hope that we can keep the conversation going. Thank you so much. There's something inspiring in the air, and I think I found a name for it: dismantling. People saying no to an unfair system and fighting back together like one candle lighting another and setting fire across the world. Nepal, Indonesia, Burkina Faso, Venezuela, Yemen, Iran. It's so inspiring because dismantling is social, public, and done in groups because you can't do it alone. But decolonizing is solo and private and has to be done alone. This relationship is important because you are so important. Decolonizing yourself comes first, then dismantling second, and third is remantling, building a new world. One can't happen without the other, and none of it can happen without you. But it all starts with decolonizing, which is my favorite subject as a coach and is my work. Decolonizing I see as your personal private butterfly process. You start questioning everything, start rejecting the implanted ideas to think for yourself. It can take months, years, or a lifetime to individuate from the dominator culture and change who you are inside, which is a metamorphosis in identity. You admit to yourself finally that no, I'm not a gray worm. I'm actually a colorful butterfly. And then next, of course, you become a social butterfly and start joining social movements looking for friends. And that's when dismantling happens. When you all flap your wings together, you whip up
This is
tornadoes
all I
of
got from this video. And one thing I know for sure is that Black joy is just something that you cannot learn. It's not something they can teach you. It is something Black people were born with. It is something they have. It is something they wear or they are created with. It is something that their ancestors gave them. We can't teach you. Black people cannot teach you that. And nobody can teach you that. And I don't know how, but you know one thing, like, getting to know Black people, is the beginning of knowing so many things. And number one is that, and let me tell you all something. I don't know about other countries, I mean African countries, but I have also, I've had friends from different places. Cameroon, Ghana, like other African countries. But there is something about Nigeria they always say. They say even when a Nigerian is drowning, that they are still very positive. That is true, though, right? They appear always very happy, even when their economy and their leaders are killing them. I'll drop that by the side, right? I have watched Black people for so long. I have said this thing several times here, and I will continue to say it. One thing I want to tell most black people is that you people are Nigerians. Some people would tell me I am not Nigerian. I know you are African American. I know you are black. And I am not doubting that. But one thing I want you to know is that you are Nigerian. It's either you accept it or not. I am not telling you to, okay, pack your things and come back to Nigeria. It is when you are ready or when you want to connect to motherland that it's okay. But should I say, let me just say 90%. 90% of black people are Nigerians. And that it's on period. We have a whole lot in common. So many things in common. So many. Like, no, I won't say common. I mean, it's like, you got, I mean, I don't know how to say it. I mean, like we kind of are wired together. You know how twins are wired kind of together? Yeah, like that. But I will stop here. I don't want to go in detail. I don't want to go into, details. But I want you to have this in mind, that you are my extension and I am your extension. Always have this thing at the back of your mind. Even when you want to, just remember that I said so. All right, I will stop there. So one thing I have watched black people do is even in the midst of chaos. That's why I remember sometime, I think somebody told, I mean, during the time they were saying that they want segregation, black people were like, oh, okay, let's do it. Even if you put out in the midst of desert, we'll come out. And that is true. They will come out looking for where to have the next barbecue. Like, please, let's eat first because food is very vital for my people coming together. Because not just only barbecuing and all that, it is the coming together. Yes, coming together because they love to gather. Yes. And when I tell you the meaning of that barbecue you guys do in Igbo land, where I come from, you will be like, okay. It has meaning also. So each time I see some things you do and see also the way we do it, I am like, I see, right? But one thing I am going to say is that it is a gift because it's kind of hard. I have lived with so many people, or I have seen people that are from other places. And even when there is a little glitch, and not even like something tiny that can easily be fixed, you see them turn red. You see them complaining. Am I saying that black people do not complain? I am not saying they don't complain. They complain too, right? But in the midst of it all, we gotta fix it. I am speaking in your... Don't mind me. Okay, I don't know if I am being messy this morning or what, but please forgive me. Black people they gotta fix it. I am speaking this with Nigerian accent, right? They will have to fix it, no matter how tough it is. And then I am sure you all say this. The only thing that you cannot fix is death. And even death, right? You bury the person to fix it. That is how it is. So I applaud you. I see your joy in everything. You know, there are some days I wake up like, I am seeing news. What is going on? I am the one crying. And you, sincerely speaking, I am the one crying. And you all are like, we've been living this life for how many years? We will find a way around it. And I am like, oh my goodness. But it's true. I see it all in my comment. The one that are very religious will say, how did they say that from the Bible? Like Yahweh will see us through and the God is watching over us and we will come out great and all that. I'm like, sincerely speaking, you all make, difficult, hard things looks so easy. That is one of the reasons why when you talk about how far you have come and how the system has been oppressing you, they say it like, how can you be oppressed when you are still moving faster than me that oppress you? Did the lines enter? Yeah. When you talk about your experiences, because for everything you navigate through it with joy. The only time you react is probably when you can no longer keep quiet and you react to it. But aside from that, you know how to navigate through anything. And after navigating through it, you come out still with results. So when they look at it, they are like, how is it happening? And they keep saying that they are oppressed. How can they be oppressed? Stop talking about oppression, because I do not see it in you. They want the oppression to be all over you. They want you to be oppressed. They want you to carry the weight. They do not want you to live that weight, because that is how they will know that you've been, but that is not your case. So I cannot explain it. And that's why I am not explaining black joy. They will never understand it. It is within. It is inside. And you cannot explain it. You cannot phantom it. You cannot talk about it. And black people cannot share it with anybody. Because when you do not have it, you don't have it. It is not electricity that you wire. Or my air conditioner is not working, let me fix it. The only time you fix is yourself internally. You cannot fix another person's own. For it is an inborn. So I think this is just all I can say. And thank you all so much for bye for now. I don't know why I'm smiling so much this morning. But yeah, it's because I'm talking about black joke, which I cannot explain because it's not explainable, right? Bye for now.